Hello, hello, hello. It's Attorney Mike Gravelin coming to you from Chicago, as usual. Heroically streaming through a man cold. Yet again. Who do we have to blame here? Rocky Lennon and Alyssa. We got a couple of guys who just can't shut their hole. And then we've got some love. We've got some love. Because this channel is all about the love. Let's do this thing, shall we?
Yeah, stop talking about your case, please.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Going in there, standing in front of the TV on the black line, say, all right, I got one getting water. Brandon Deshaun Wright. All right, calling. Give me one moment. Case number.
It's not on the sheet, Jim. Is it on the sheet?
Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. My apologies. Okay. Is it 2463 or 03? 210181?
240-563-7001.
For Brandon Wright. Can you repeat that, please?
Brandon Wright is 240-563-7001.
5637001. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Wright, calling case number 240-563-7001. Peterson Minsky versus Brandon Deshaun Wright. Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragnan for the people, Your Honor.
Shive on behalf of Mr. Wright, who has full reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands mute.
All right, the court in a not guilty plea on behalf of your client, Mr. Ragnar, argument as bond.
And the people are asking for $35,000 cash surety bond. If he's able to post bond, we're asking for him to have GPS tether with home arrest. Thank you.
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident. I'm not aware of any KPS history. He does have a child. He has an alternative place to stay. He lives alone. He says he has the lease to this place. Complaining witness has a separate address. He indicated to us that the complaining witness was arrested previously for stabbing Mr. Wright.
I'm sorry. Ms. Shive, there was some background noise. Can you repeat what you just stated?
Yes, my client indicates that the complaining witness was previously arrested for stabbing him.
Is that recently?
Previously, I don't know
understand
how.
Previously, but was it recently?
Okay, sir, Mr. Wright, I see your hand is up. I don't want you to say anything at all. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
People say that our love affair will never last.
Answer this. What year was that in?
2023.
Okay. And like a few months ago?
Yes, no more than 6 months ago. They're all up there.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Shive, can you answer that question? Did he file charges against her?
Your Honor, I believe she got arrested and then he did not proceed with the charges, if I'm correct. Your Honor, he does not want contact with the complaining witness. Obviously, these parties are not good for each other. Now, I understand the counts here and the charges against him. However, when we look at, the report and the officers show up, there's an anonymous call. That person is gone. There are allegations. There's no one for them to ask, who made call and why. And then there's, when you look in there, it just says that when they showed up, he was just by the door holding ramen noodles. They didn't observe anything else, and they just detained him in the hallway and made contact with the complainant. So respectfully asking the court to consider
Your Honor, he had ramen noodles. I say personal bond right now.
a personal bond, absolutely no contact with the complaining witness. And he does have family ties and community ties. I don't believe he has anything on his record that is assaultive, or if there is even a record. So I'm respectfully asking the court to consider a high personal bond, no contact. He does have an alternative address if he needs to go to a different address, but according to him, they do not live together, Your Honor.
Okay. Of course, haven't heard argument. I'm inclined, the court's inclined to be persuaded by Mr. Ragnar's argument, or request, I should say. The allegations in here are very, very troubling. And what's particularly troubling to the court is the multiple threats that are articulated and mentioned in the report. I will kill you. I will kill you. I will kill you. And so for those reasons, the court finds by clear and convincing evidence that Mr. Wright is a danger to the complaining witness, and therefore a cash surety bond is appropriate in this matter. So I will adopt the recommendation of the people. $35,000
That I will kill you thing is a sticking point for the judge here.
cash surety, GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, no contact with Dianca Ursery, no contact with the West Bank Nichols address as well, and no guns. I take it that Ms. Shive, your client has his hand up.
Mr. Wright, before you say anything, Your Honor, would the court consider a high personal bond, like $150,000 personal bond with the GPS tether and house arrest? Because these are allegations, basically he said, she said here.
Before you say anything, don't say anything.
Medics were refused, no witnesses to anything, and then callers left.
Ms. Shive, under normal circumstances, if there was no injuries or whatever, I'd be inclined, the court be inclined to be persuaded to your way. But the threats, the allegations in the investigative report, the court finds it troubling. And so that's why I believe a cash surety bond that Mr. Ragnar requested is more appropriate in this matter to assure the safety of the complaining witness.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Wright, anything you say right now, Kenan, will be used against you. It's all part of the record. It's live on YouTube. We have prosecutors on. I would advise you as your attorney to remain silent, exercise that right, and do not say anything at all. But you do have a right to speak. So if you have a question about bond or dates, or you want to say something, you can. But I, as your attorney, am going to advise you to remain silent.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Wright. Go ahead.
As far as her address is, I've been arrested before for domestic violence with her. She never showed up in any court date.
Sir, be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet.
My question is, what do I do?
No, sir. You should have listened to your attorney. You should have listened to your attorney.
I'm trying to ask you, I'm trying to get the lease to my apartment because the 6 mile address is my apartment.
Sir,
so how do I prove that it's my apartment? That's what I'm trying to ask. How do I give my lease to or anything to prove that it's my residence?
Are you gonna let me talk?
It's official. Miss Schaub here has it just as bad as Darren Patterson, if not worse.
Sorry, Your Honor. Sorry.
Mr. Wright, your counsel would strongly advise you not to say anything. Against her wise counsel, you made some statements before you even got to a question. That was somewhat. What did I just say? Are you gonna listen to me? Against your counsel's advice, you arguably made some potentially incriminating statements. I will advise you, along with your counsel, to please remain silent as these proceedings continue.
How do
You wanna
I
have
prove
a
that my
copy?
apartment is my address? That's my question. How do I prove that my apartment is
Sir, you have an unaffordable bond determination hearing Monday, March 25th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. With respect to your question, that's a question you should have asked your counsel, not me.
I did.
Okay. Now, do you have any other questions regarding your bond conditions and or court dates, sir?
And if my thing is, I do. If I will be on 24-hour lockdown, GPS, just like I
said, you want to overtalk me, sir?
I'm done. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I'm done.
Have a good day.
Wait, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It is unaffordable, so I just.
Okay, let me give you the dates. Unaffordable bond, Monday, March 25th, 9 a.m. in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. Probable cause April 1st, preliminary examination April 8th, both in front of Judge King. Have a good day.
Thank you.
$35,000 in cash surety.
Right in front of the TV on that black line. All you're gonna do is say your name. Listen to what the judge has to say. Say your name.
Gerald Dixon.
All right, give me.
This guy's voice does not match his face for me. He doesn't talk much. He gets muted fast, but it shocked me.
One moment. Madam Clerk, here you go. All right, this is case number 24000012. This is a contempt of court arraignment. Appearances, please.
Samuel A. Ragnar for the people, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Jessica Scheib, for the record, our office did try to interview Mr. Dixon and let him know how important it is to have counsel, and it is his right. But Mr. Dixon did refuse counsel. We are here available at standby. We are here available, ready to interview him as always. But it's my understanding that he refused counsel and does not want our representation.
Thank you for putting it on the record. And this matters, Ms. Scheib and Mr. Ragnar. My hands are tied. This is a PPO violation. He will have his court date March 25th, Monday at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Testani and the Coleman A. Young building. So hereby remanded to the custody of the Wayne County Jail till Monday morning.
Your Honor, may I ask just as orders, just if someone,
Sure.
if the court would read him his rights, just because he didn't want our representation. I just want to make sure that he has those rights, Your Honor.
I don't have the right sheets in front of me. Can you do it in front of, do you have it in front of you, ma'am, Ms. Scheib?
I can read them.
Okay,
I can
please. I don't
read
have it right in front of me.
I can read them. Sir, I know you refuse counsel, but I just want you to know your rights, okay? You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one will be appointed to you. You have a right to remain silent. Don't talk to anybody, no detectives, officers, inmates. If you're making phone calls from there, be careful. It's always being recorded. You have a right to a trial, jury trial, bench trial. See here, question all witnesses against you. Bring witnesses yourself. Have a right to be released on bond depending on the severity of the charges, and you're always presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay? Thank you.
You understand that, sir?
Yes, I do, but why?
Angry man.
Okay. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a better day.
Remember, you look marvelous.
To unmute?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you. Both of you, please raise your right hand.
Rocky sent me this a couple days ago. This is absolutely delicious. Y'all are going to enjoy this if you haven't seen it.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I need both of you to say that, sir, particularly you. It's your case.
Yes.
All right. Please place your hand down. All right. So, Mr. Reynolds, you have been a resident of the state of Georgia for more than 6 months prior to filing this action.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your spouse, Jocelyn Reynolds, has acknowledged service of process and jurisdiction of this court.
Yes.
And it is your position, Mr. Reynolds, that you were what do you mean a common law marriage? When
This
what
is
do you
so
mean by that, sir?
A comment. You said who?
What do you mean by the common law marriage? Because I don't know if we before 97, that would have been 91. Okay. When did you enter into a common law marriage?
When we went to a common law marriage.
Your petition says you were married through common law.
I mean, we got married through a guy that was able to marry us, but I mean, it wasn't a common law marriage. But I'm not.
Yeah, that's what your petition says, goofball. We find out he gets it from the internet. He doesn't know. The people like this cracks me up. Obviously, soft sits do this all the time, but they just throw these phrases about common law marriage has specific meaning in the law. I mean, roughly speaking, it would be like a marriage by default because you lived with somebody for a long time. Some states will recognize that. Most states don't. It has a very specific meaning, and you put that in your petition. Now, I know you don't know what you're doing, but this is the problem you have when you do things like that.
Who did this petition?
He
I
did.
I did.
Okay. You wrote? Did you write it, or do you got it from somewhere, or you pulled it off the internet? What'd you do? Because
like
it says the
my favorite name so
respondent
far.
and I are common law married, having entered into a common law marriage before January 1st, 1997. Then you say as of 10/30/2021.
You know, I got it off I didn't get it from you guys. I got it off the internet, literally. I bought it off the internet.
Uh-huh.
The papers.
When were you married?
We're married August.
October 30th, 2021.
Sorry.
When were you separated, sir?
Separated we never really. We separated I guess the following year.
When?
In July of 2022.
July? Because that's not what it says here.
We just been.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give this.
She seems reasonable. She knows when the hell the marriage was. And then she asks when are you separated, and he can even tell her that, but it's not what's in his petition. Oh, and the judge is like, I can't grant this thing. You've given me a pile of gobbledygook. What am I supposed to do? Affirm this? None of this is right.
You need to amend your petition for a divorce, so you can put down there when you were actually married, when you were actually separated, with the real information. You got down here child support and things of that nature. I don't know what you're writing here.
No, have any we didn't have any kids. I didn't write anything about any kids. So we didn't have any.
You did though, sir. You did. And so you need to look at your complaint and read it, because it says that you are employed, you owe $4,000.
He keeps going at the judge like, well, I don't know where you're getting all this craziness from. Your petition. I'm literally reading your petition. And you're getting upset with me as if I'm making some allegation.
You pay $4,000 a month. You're able-bodied and capable of taking care of your children. Okay. Do you have children?
We don't have any kids together at all.
I know. And Mr. Reynolds, you're looking surprised, but don't be surprised. This is your document. You probably just pulled it off the internet, typed something in, and then submitted it. Okay. But what you're doing, because you didn't read it all the way through, it's throwing me off because these facts are not correct. So you either, and you're alleging facts and stuff that's just not true. Okay. It's no big deal. You're just going to have to start over. You'll have to amend this because you don't have children, but you're alleging that you do. Okay. So you need to amend the petition. And
judge is very cool here. She sees the whole thing and she handles it like a pro. He's not really trying to defraud the court. He filed a bunch of false information, but not for to gain advantage because he's too stupid to do it right. It's that simple. She sees it for what it is. Again, if I filed this, there'd be sanctions because I'm expected to know better. But she sees what he did. You grabbed a form, you just slapped a signature on it and put it in here. You don't know what the hell your own petition says.
And go back through the document, clean it up, write amend on the top of it, and resubmit it. Okay. Take away this idea of child support. You just take that completely out. And I think that's about it. You just need to clean that up. Let me see if you did. Hold on. There's another settlement agreement in here somewhere as well. Okay. Yeah. You cleaned up your settlement agreement. So your settlement agreement is cleaned up. All you need to do is just amend that. Okay.
It was a thing that the woman at the court, when I went to the bar, she said, write amended on the top. And that's what I had did.
Yeah. The amended on the settlement agreement is fine. You just.
Yeah. The writing amended on top of it is good. All the substance of it is crap. And the wife, to her credit, is like, you see what I've been dealing with? You see what I've been dealing with here? Oh,
need to
good
do
Lord.
The same now for your divorce.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Would I need to be in person to go to a notary to sign for this?
No, you don't have to do it. I don't need you. I don't even need you to come back the next time we have this hearing. He needs to come back, but all you have to do is just amend the complaint and sign it. Okay. Just go back through, clean it up, make sure it makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Y'all free to leave.
Thank you.
Love, exciting and new.
Jessica Shive on behalf of Mr. Fields, who has formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands him.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Positions as to bond, please.
Your Honor, the people in this matter are requesting a $75,000 cash surety bond, tether house arrest to another location. I do note that the complainant or the defendant here is 60 years old, but and has no criminal record, but based on the allegations in the investigator's report, and I see a note in the APA file that shows that on March 21st, she has spoken to the complaining witness and said that she is terrified of the defendant. Officers responded to a 911 call, the first one being a person with a weapon. The complainant answered the door and told the officers that, no, I'm fine and I'm alone. Through her security gate. Then they come back a second time that there's a 911 for a person with a weapon. And Clayton is in the street wearing only a jacket and shoes, left her house. Apparently, the defendant, for her, he was angry because there was no food in the house. He grabbed her by both wrists and twisted them. He then grabbed her hair and pulled it. She's told the officers that the first time they came
Notice that the prosecutor is currently under the impression he has no criminal record.
into the house, that he was behind the door behind her with a sharp object, obviously making her under the belief that he had a weapon, some sort of knife or gun, and told her he was going to kill her if she said anything. And then she didn't, but obviously the assault did not end. And so there, at this point, she called the police again. So that is why I'm asking for this high cash surety bond and a tether house arrest, not to that same location if that's home. It says that they reside, based on the fact that she is afraid of him, and age does not matter in this case. This is something that it made her feel to the point where she could not even tell the police that were there that she needed their help. Thank you.
Thank you. Defense.
Yes, Your Honor. So in his 60 years, we're not aware of any prior criminal history, him being on probation for any pending. He does have a heart condition. He's diabetic. I believe he suffers from mental illness. He will stay with his sister. Now, he is a resident of Ohio. He was living in Ohio, I think, his whole life. He came here to live with the complaining witness in October, but he will go back to Ohio. He can stay there with family. That is where he is from. If the court is not going to allow him to go back to this address because the complaining witness is there, the only other place he can go is in Ohio if the court would allow him to go back there. Now, I understand what is in front of you, Your Honor, the charge. However, in the report, we don't have any witnesses. We don't have any injuries, any medics. We just have what the complaining witness is saying. He is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And he doesn't have a history of no capias or with the law or anything assaultive. So respectfully asking the court to consider a very high personal bond. I would have asked the court if you're not inclined to do a personal without a tether. However, I don't know how that would work and if that is a possibility with the situation, if he's allowed to go back to Ohio. But he's not working, so he doesn't need to go anywhere. But the only place that he knows he can stay here is with her, and the court doesn't want that. So if he can go back to Ohio, he can stay with family and be away from the complaining witness.
Thank you. So, I mean, this is difficult for me because I don't have prior convictions that may be partially explained by the fact that he's not from here and lives in Ohio. I don't know. But, you know, it's pretty concerning to me that people don't normally go stand in the middle of the street with nothing but a jacket and shoes on unless they're afraid of something inside. Or they determine the street to be the safest place to be, despite not even being fully clothed. That tells me that a person has some real concern for their safety, some concern that I need to take into account when I set the bond. So I'm going to do that.
Can I say something?
It's your hearing, sir. Your attorney's going to advise you not to, but it is your right to speak. Counsel, do you want to address your client? Ms. Shive, do you want to address Mr. Fields? He's asking to address the court.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Fields, anything you say right now can and will be used against you. It's all part of the record, okay? There's prosecutors on. I don't want you to volunteer any information. I don't want you to say anything that's going to harm you in any way. So I would advise you to not say anything, but you do have a right to speak. But I just wanted to advise you of that and be careful before you say anything, okay? Because you have not been given your bond yet.
Good morning to the courts. Good morning, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the vote. This is what I want to say. Came up here October the 7th with her. I've been up here ever since. I'm gonna go as far as to say I didn't do none of this. I'm innocent. I'm really confused. But the thing of it is, I came from Ohio and I jump bond. My probation officer's name is Christina Minix in Hamilton, Ohio. She was supposed to get me back down there. Well, actually, I wasn't supposed to leave Ohio. Let's just be honest. So I'm
You're on,
probation.
Mr. Fields, you're not helping your case at all. This is your attorney speaking. I advise you to remain silent. You're volunteering information.
I'm up here 400 miles away. Somebody's lying on me. I'm about to go to be stuck here where I haven't ever been here before in 39 years to the courts and your honor and my attorney. All right. Lisa Marie, she's the only one who has the information of contacts to my family members. All right. She's not turned, from what I'm getting, she's not turned loose any phone numbers or contacted any of my family members. I have family members down there, Tani, my brothers and them, and I have family up here. She has those phone numbers. She's not turning loose these phone numbers. So here I am. I'm stuck 400 miles away in Detroit, Michigan, in a place to where she's pulling off something that could cause me to get in real trouble, and I haven't done anything to her, Your Honor. So here I am. I'm 60 years old. My wife died July 30th of 2021 of COVID. So I'm still in a state of mourning. I did nothing to Lisa but come up here and help her. But let's be honest, I jumped probation. Christina Minix is my probation officer down in Hamilton, Ohio. And I've been up here since October 7th.
Well, Mr. Fields, if they want to come get you, they're going to know right where to find you.
Okay,
Bond is set at $25,000 cash surety. You're sitting here telling me that you do not follow court orders. You do not follow probation orders. You're jumping bond. It would be completely irresponsible of me to give you a personal bond. I'm speaking now. I gave you a lot of time to speak. Bond is set at $25,000 cash surety. GPS together with house arrest. If the bond is made, I do find there to be a danger to this complainant in particular, to the community in general. Additionally, based upon the defendant's statements here in court, I do find him to be a substantial flight risk. Next court date, March 25th in front of Judge McConico for bond redetermination. After that, March 28th for probable cause conference, April 3rd for preliminary examination, those latter two in front of Judge King. You may not purchase or possess any firearms or other dangerous weapons. You may not have or attempt any contact with Lisa Chapman, the complainant, and you may not return to the address on Grayton Street. All of those are the conditions of your bond. All right? Thank you.
Yes. Can I go back to Ohio, Your Honor?
You have to wait for yeah.
If they extradite you, you can. They may come get you.
I want to go back to Ohio. I'm not from here. And I'm not on my medicine. I don't even have my glasses now. I'm paralyzed.
Need for medical on the file. Please mark it medical.
Yeah.
Good. See you really can, sir.
Oh, I love that. Can I go back to Ohio? Sure, if they extradite you. Michigan would love to be rid of you. We'll turn you right over. You can go sit in their jail instead of ours. That's fine with us. He was sitting on a PR bond all day long. The prosecutor said she wasn't aware of any criminal history. The judge said, well, there's no criminal history that I'm aware of. We've got an incident that's definitely he said, she said with no injuries. You are walking out of Detroit Correction Center on that set of facts. If you can just shut your mouth. But no, he's got to announce that he skipped probation. Oh, good Lord. It was too fun. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. At least I made it to the end this time. My last one my last stream, what was it? It was Friday night. I went downhill so fast midstream that I struggled to just stay awake till the end so I could turn it off. Thanks for coming out. I'll see y'all soon.